this brother. That's something I can go. I mean, a hip hop, a rhythm to the rhythm to rhythm to the rhythm to beat. And my man, Joe Motley, he's rocking that beat. From 1979, I'm still to 22. And when I have to do this type of lyrics, I have to bring it real for you. See, when they come around time to time, you know it's always ticking. Cause come time for Tuesday, I gotta get that Popeye chicken. That's chicken special with the biscuits and a side of fries. That means one thing, I'm a mesmerizing type of guy. That's one thing I got to tell you, I'm known that I do all. Don't worry about
Once again, voiceradio.com. Grandpa rapper Al Porter Jr. live at the Mediterranean. And I can tell you something right now. This is a very special episode because a lot of times we get into trouble. And it's easy to get into trouble, but it's so hard to get out of trouble, even when you turn your life around and you go to make changes in your life. There are so many things that are stacked against you. It makes it hard. So I happen to have from Legal Works, my brother in here. I've been following what you've been doing. Brother Isaiah Pinckney, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. And as a matter of fact, I have to ask you, because this is like really new, 2014?
Yeah.
Okay. And over 1,000 records on one end. You've been doing 2 or 3 different services, but I'm looking at that. That's a phenomenal record because going into 2022, we're talking about just 8 years. Talk to me about why. Why did you get into the field that you're in and the importance of it?
Sure. So I actually got into it in 2020. I recently graduated from Case Law School.
Okay.
2021. Paul James Levent founded the company in 2014. So got an interview with him, saw the post online, interview with him, first day hired. Same day hired, excuse me. So why I got into it was I started developing passion in law school, wanted to help the community. I was always active in my schools, like Student Bar Association. I was senator, vice president, president, all that stuff in school. And I've always tried to be involved in some shape or form. So it kind of been naturally to get into what James was doing. And I started first my internship at the prosecutor's office. And that's when I kind of started understanding Cleveland. I'm originally not from Cleveland, from New York City.
Okay. Got you.
And stop me if I get long-winded.
We're good.
But yeah, I got involved. I started understanding kind of what the criminal system does to the people of Cleveland through the prosecutor's office. I also worked at the Inspector General's office as an intern there as well. So I started seeing more of what Cleveland's going through in different aspects of just accounting. So when I interviewed with James, it's like, oh, you're doing record sealing. Okay, I'll do that. It sounds like you're doing good work, and I want to learn more about that. So I just wanted doing kind of like assessments, making sure I look at all the records, getting him the information. And fast forward to now, I'm now a full-time employee with Legal Works. I'm working on motions. Hopefully I get my results in April, then I'll be a fully licensed attorney. So
I'm into that. And I see you talking about record sealings. I like a couple of things that I've been seeing, which is removing obstructions, restoring possibilities. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So first thing, most clients is really 2 things: housing and employment. When you do that background check, you kind of get nervous. A lot of clients talk, you don't want to tell the employer, hey, 20 years ago, I got a forgery charge or a fraud charge, hoping the employer doesn't hold it against you. And a lot of times they do. Let's be honest, they do.
True.
So as the law keeps changing and expanding, you now can seal record. You don't have to worry about telling the employer what's going on. You can go to the job interview with confidence, and now you don't feel like, okay, I go through this again. I'm on my second, third interview today, and I have to check that box or fill this out. The mental pressure of it. Right. I hear that a lot. It's just the mental, you feel like a weight's lifted once it's gone. So that's kind of the possibility. It mentally opens you up to more possibilities.
I hadn't even looked at that part of the mental possibilities. Uh, those things being in your brain, you're carrying that extra weight, that concern. So you're lifting that and you are helping people get their mentals together. As a matter of fact, I was looking at a lot of people that you've helped, and they do look peaceful. They do look
Yeah.
extremely peaceful, happy, like they're enjoying life. So
Right.
I have to ask you, you obviously have to care about what it is that you do, because a lot of times we get and have seen, and people that I've worked with, uh, a lot of times you'll find a prosecutor, sometimes working with quote unquote the public defender, working with the judge and others, and people are so frightened to go into a setting. Talk to me about what you do that is so different.
Well, I think our process is from start to finish. So you come in, say we come to a expungement clinic, we usually hold some expungement clinics. Come in, we talk to you, we sit down, learn stuff about you, where you work, how many kids you have, why do you want to see it, what would it mean to you, and then we file the motion, go to court for you, go in the hearing, update you on everything that's going on with the hearing, represent you in the hearing, and then we make sure it's from start to finish.
I hear you. That's a major difference right there. As a matter of fact, uh, how do you go about the expungement clinics? And the reason I'm bringing that up is because there have been a few that when they come up, we always make sure to push and promote those type of issues on voiceotradio.com, where if you didn't hear it here, most likely, most definitely it didn't happen. But I have to ask you about your work with expungement clinics itself.
Yeah. Kind of similarly if you come into the office, just on a grander scale in terms of how many people we see. So clinics, the last one we had over 100. The one before that was over 200 people that came in. And we're trying to do quick assessments there because sometimes the volume we need to do kind of, okay, let's just take a look at your record. And usually we look in the county and Cleveland Municipal Court just to start.
Got you.
And we'll just take it from there in terms of, okay, we sat down with you, we did assessment. Here's what we're going to do so far. We took an initial look. We're going to take a deeper dive later on because the initial look lets us know, okay, you may need to wait a year because as I don't know if I may have mentioned it as I was speaking,
No problem.
the law changes so often. So when I moved here in like 2017, I think the law changed about 3 or 4 times already. And I think even last year twice. So they're consistently, I believe, expanding it. And I remember when the law expanded to just 5 felonies, and now it's a limited felonies of 4th degree, and felonies of 5th degree and misdemeanors that you can have. And before it was only 5 of those you could expunge. Only 5 you can have.
Okay.
So once we do that initial look, then we'll say, okay, excuse me, in mics.
We're good.
We do the initial look, then we do the deeper dive and see, okay, is there any open warrants that may hinder you from this, or maybe you owe some court costs that they may object to. So then we also help you find that out because you may not know, what if you got convicted of something in 93, you did probation, they told you were fine, and you have $300 court costs that no one notified you about or anything. So that's a part of it.
I can appreciate that. What we can do is take our first break, and I will come back. I want to know more about what cases that you might not be able to help, or what it is that you feel people really need to know when they come to see you, as well as being in those legal trenches, barriers, and a few other things. If you think this is going to be a short interview, it's not. This is a full hour because this type of thing is important. So we're going to hear the real deal, the Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight.
We are Voice It Radio, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on voiceitradio.com.
Hello, this is Larry H. Gardner, host of Headlines and Headaches on voiceitradio.com. Fentanyl is the leading cause of drug overdose deaths in Cuyahoga County. It is now found in powdered cocaine, crack cocaine, meth, and heroin. Any drug may contain fentanyl. If you use drugs, never use alone, and carry Narcan in case of overdose. Call the ADAMHS Board 24-hour addiction line and mental health crisis hotline at area code 216-623-6888. That's 216-623-6888 if you are ready for help.
Hello, this is Queen Minister Gwendolyn Pitts, and tune in to Daughters of the Nile every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. on voiceitradio.com.
Hi, I'm Lillian Piles.
And I'm Harry Boomer.
Join us every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be covering all aspects of theater, film, and the performing arts right here from Northeast Ohio.
We will also tell you about what national major productions are coming to town. Don't miss Backstage with Lillian Piles and Harry Boomer every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on voiceitradio.com.
Hello, this is Zulma Zavala, President CEO for East End Neighborhood House, and I host your weekly Eastern Neighborhood wrap-up show here on Voice It Radio from 2 to 3 p.m. every Friday. Tune in.
Hi, this is Queen Elder Jacqueline Swales Goodrum. Tune in to Daughters of the Nile every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. at voiceitradio.com.
What's up, everybody? This your boy, Amir, a.k.a. A-Rap Money.
It's your favorite friend, Brandalis.
You already know who this is. It's Harley, girl.
Hey, we want you guys to tune in each and every Wednesday night, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check out Unpopular Opinion.
We're going to be giving our unpopular opinions about everything that's trending locally, nationally, and around the world.
We'll also have special guests, controversial topics, and as always, we'll be live streaming, so please don't forget to call in.
So don't forget to tune in to Unpopular Opinion every Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on voiceitradio.com.
Hey, this is Eric Dean Seaton, television director and creator of the graphic novel series Legend of the Mantamaji. Whether I'm in Cleveland or Cali or on Raven's Home or Life in Pieces, I'm always tuned into voiceitradio.com.
What's going on, y'all? This is Kay Sermon, the CFO of Def Rugs. And when I'm making my rugs, I'm tuned into voiceitradio.com all day.
This is Chanel McLeod, and I'm always tuned into Voice It Radio.
What's poppin', y'all? This your girl, Miss Smoke, and you know I'm tuned in with Voice It Radio.
Yeah, it's Big 40, man. I'm always tuned in to Voice It Radio.
What's poppin'? It's your girl, Uzi Susie, and I'm tuned in to Voice It Radio.
It's your player partner, Fang.
What up, man? It's your boy, Big Kev.
What's going on, man? It's 55 Bags.
What's going on? It's your favorite host, Twan So.
What up? This your boy, Chris Frank.
Yo, for real, though, it's your girl, Miss BJ, and I'm tuned in to Voice It Radio.
What's poppin'? It's your boy, Teasy from the Clear Motion Picture Gang of Don't Bang, and you are listening to Voice It Radio.
It's Artazar, and you are now tuned in to Voice It Radio.
What up with it? It's your boy, Q Nice, man.
What's poppin'? It's your girl, Jessie Jets, and I'm here, and I'm always tuned in to Voice It Radio.
This is Al Porter Jr., the president of Black on Black Crime Incorporated. Fentanyl is the leading cause of drug overdose deaths in Cuyahoga County. It is now found in powdered cocaine, crack cocaine, meth, and heroin. Any drug may contain fentanyl. If you use drugs, never use alone and carry Narcan in case of overdose. Call the ADAMHS Board 24-hour addiction and mental health crisis hotline at 216-623-6888 if you're ready for help. That's 216-623-6888. Share this message and save lives.
Hard time GMS, still in the game. Here's one, keep the top back this year. Got the top back, posted up like a track. Pop the chart, let them hear that. 808 and I rap. Got the hustlers cash, rubber band, my stash. Kiss my ass, top back. Flying on their ass, going too fast. Get cash. Call me Speedy Money in the bag like a tag with lab. Got the top back, posted up like the track. Pop the truck, let them hear that. 808 and I rap. Got the hustlers cash, rubber band, my stash. Kiss my ass. Top back, flying on their ass, I'm going too fast. getting cash. Call me Speedy Money
Coming
in the
back
bag like a tag.
with Top
We
Back.
glad. On the way
That's
up,
Wild
wake up
Child
on the highway like
featuring
Marquis.
Suave
Money don't
Gotti.
sleep on the run like Jacob. Got the top back, beat
I've
like a
got to
drum.
come
Hit New
through
York City.
again with Brother Pinckney from Legal Works. That's Legal Works. And I'm going to at least start off with one of the most important things. And the question would be, who can't you help? Or what cases can't you help? Because you've helped so many, people will look out and say, ooh, I'm going to contact them. And you might say, wait a minute, slow down. So who or what kind of cases don't you deal with?
That's a good question. So the case we don't do, I think civil suits.
Okay.
We don't do, but as we were talking
Right.
there, we do refer clients to wherever we don't service. One of the things we try to partner with a lot of people or try to network well, so that way we can help everybody. We may know some people from housing. We don't normally do housing, but there are certain things in housing we do, like seal eviction records. In the city of Cleveland, you can seal your eviction letter. There's a laundry list, a checklist of what you need to do, but it's something you can do. Another thing we do is also relief from disability.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes when, for example, you have, and more to answer your question, you can't seal a felony of the second degree or a felony of the first degree. And when you have a felony of the third degree, you have a limited number of convictions you can have. So sometimes a client comes in, they have a felony 3, 2 felony 3, a felony 5, and maybe 4 misdemeanors or 5 misdemeanors. So they wouldn't be eligible.
Got you.
But they need the gun permit. So we'll say, well, we can do the relief of disability. That's another route, but we can still help you and try to get your goal.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I can appreciate you so much because you are adding so much information that there are a lot of hashtags on things that I didn't even know myself. And let's say, what do people need to know beforehand before they come through to visit you all? What would you like for them to know? Or are there things that they get misconstrued or they don't realize and you've had to tell people maybe the same thing over and over again? What things would a person need to know or should they know?
Don't assume that a misdemeanor doesn't matter. The felony, we understand the felony was kind of the roadblock. But as I mentioned earlier, all convictions count depending on what they are. And that determines eligibility. So when a client comes, we'll ask them, what case do you have? Well, I have 1 felony in the county, but they may have misdemeanors in Parma, Cleveland, or in Bedford, and then they won't mention it because they think it's not important. But as we file the motion, say the client doesn't tell us. So we look in Cleveland, we see like 2, but we don't know about the Parma Bedford courts. We'll file a motion, then it bounces back with the information. We'll talk to the client again. Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, and it's fair. It's over a decade. It could be something. If people are growing. You're 40 years old. You're coming to get something sealed. You're not gonna remember what you did at 19.
Right.
It could, and it simply could be disorderly conduct. Who's remembering disorderly conduct at 19? You're partying. Maybe the cop,
yes,
argue with the cop. Now you got disorderly conduct. You spent a day in jail. You went home, paid the fine. You didn't even think about it again.
That's right. Right. So, I'm glad you're bringing that up because I know of a couple of cases where that happened, and the person was like, "I didn't know I even did that," and it didn't seem to be anything major at the time, but it went on their record, and they're looking like, "Wow, y'all found that from."
From 20 years ago.
Right. Yes, sir.
And no one could believe it. And I personally, I wouldn't believe it if you came to me and said, do I remember that? I understand.
I feel you. Yeah. Man, I have a lot of respect for what you do because of the people that you help. And you were saying something off air that they're either sometimes a person will come up and they feel like they know the law, but they really don't know the law. Talk to me, because I know you run into that a lot.
Yeah. So there are some nuances to it. For example, they'll hear the law has been expanded. So now, it is true, it has been expanded, but they don't understand that maybe the offense of violence changes your eligibility. So yes, you don't have an F3. No, you only have misdemeanors. But what's classified as offensive violence? And that's another big part. I'll give you an example, like menacing. Menacing is considered offensive violence, but you wouldn't think about it kind of sense of violence because you get that from maybe texting someone or some circumstance that you wouldn't think is violent.
Right.
But because of that offensive violence, I now put you on a different path of eligibility. And now we have to assess it differently because now under the law, we have to now discuss a little bit earlier than I get in detail is counting how many convictions you have. So now we got to see what we can do. But you wouldn't think of that because you're like, it's menacing. What does that mean? Right? You know
Yes, sir. Ooh, and they tell you ignorance is no excuse. And so I appreciate what you're saying. You had something else that you said off air that I think is so important. A lot of people would just say ours is the one-stop shop, but you were talking about the importance of getting a second opinion. Talk to me about that.
Oh, yeah. So sometimes the clients will say, well, should I go talk to somebody else? Because we're a nonprofit, I think the thought is with lawyers is I pay top dollar, I get top results, right?
Right.
So what I encourage people is, hey, this is what the law is, but you don't need to take my word for it. Just like a doctor. Doctor tells you, hey, you're diagnosed with this. You can talk to somebody else.
Right.
And you can still come back to us. We'll still do the work. The important thing is you're getting helped. So if it's not us and it's somebody else and you feel comfortable that way, that's fine. But we're more than willing and able. But yeah, I am a believer. You should seek. If you don't believe us, read it yourself or ask somebody else, and that's fine. No offense.
I hear you. And this is what is so important in what you do. Talk to us about being nonprofit. How does that work?
Well, that'll be a question more for the boss, but I'll give it a shot.
Okay. No problem.
So that means we're not here for money. We're not trying to make money off it. We charge nominal fees. So, for example, a motion in the county will be $50, our legal fee. That's the most we'll charge for a motion per motion. That's it. We don't charge $1,000 retainers or anything like that. It's very simple fees, and that's more to say, okay, kind of like we're just charging that nominally. We really get funded through fundraising, grants, other partnerships. And that's pretty much I know about the nonprofit world. Excuse me.
No problem. That says a lot because it lets people know that they're not going to be gouged. We've got a few other things that we have to talk to Legal Works about, but hey, we brought up the subject of the world and the way things work. So why not go back to Slick Rick? Hey, young world, from the great adventures of Slick Rick right here on voiceitradio.com.
It may cause concern, it's why don't you listen and learn? That once was strong, but you to society, even that's turned wrong. Times have changed. Hey, it's cool to look bummy and be a dumb dummy and disrespect your mommy. Have you forgotten? Who put you on this earth, huh? But you are proud. And who loved you since your birth? Reward is a brainwashed kid going wild. Young little girls already have a child. Bad company. Hey, now you've been framed. The parents are hurted and ashamed. For ruining yourself. And your mommy can't cope. Hey, little kids don't follow
This is
these
Al
dope
Porter
ass
Jr., the
rules.
president of Black on Black
Your
Crime
life
Incorporated.
don't rule.
Fentanyl is the leading cause of drug overdose deaths in Cuyahoga County. It is now found in powdered cocaine, crack cocaine, meth, and heroin. Any drug may contain fentanyl. If you use drugs, never use alone and carry Narcan in case of overdose. Call the ADAMHS Board 24-hour addiction and mental health crisis hotline at 216-623-6888 if you're ready for help. That's 216-623-6888. Share this message and save lives. This message brought to you by the ADAMHS Board of Cuyahoga County.
We are Voice It Radio, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on voicearadio.com.
Hello, this is Queen Minister Gwendolyn Pitts, and tune in to Daughters of the Nile every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. on voiceitradio.com.
Hi, I'm Lillian Piles.
And I'm Harry Boomer.
Join us every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be covering all aspects of theater, film, and the performing arts right here from Northeast Ohio.
We will also tell you about what national major productions are coming to town. Don't miss Backstage with Lillian Piles and Harry Boomer every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on voiceitradio.com.
Hello, this is Zulma Zavala, President CEO for East End Neighborhood House, and I host your weekly Eastern Neighborhood wrap-up show here on Voice It Radio from 2 to 3 p.m. every Friday. Tune in.
Hi, this is Queen Elder Jacqueline Swales Goodrum. Tune in to Daughters of the Nile every Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. at voiceitradio.com.
What's up, everybody? This your boy Amir, aka A-Rap Money.
It's your favorite friend, Brandalis.
You already know who this is. It's Harley Girl.
Hey, we want you guys to tune in each and every Wednesday night, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to check out Unpopular Opinion.
We're going to be giving our unpopular opinions about everything that's trending locally, nationally, and around the world.
We'll also have special guests, controversial topics, and as always, we'll be live streaming, so please don't forget to call in.
So don't forget to tune in to Unpopular Opinion every Wednesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on voiceitradio.com.
Hey, this is Eric Dean Seaton, television director and creator of the graphic novel series Legend of the Mantamaji. Whether I'm in Cleveland or Cali or on Raven's Home or Life in Pieces, I'm always tuned into voiceitradio.com.
What's going on, y'all? This is Kay Sermon, the CFO of Def Rugs. And when I'm making my rugs, I'm tuned into voiceitradio.com all day.
This is Chanel McLeod, and I'm always tuned in to Voice It Radio.
What's poppin', y'all? This your girl, Miss Smoke, and you know I'm tuned in with Voice It Radio.
Yeah, it's Big 40, man. I'm always tuned in to Voice of Radio.
What's poppin'? It's your girl Uzi Susie, and I'm tuned in to Voice It Radio.
It's your player partner Fang.
What up, man? It's your boy Big Kev.
What's going on, man? It's 55 bags.
What's going on? It's your favorite host, Twanzo.
What up, what up, what up? This your boy Chris Frank.
Yo, for real now, it's your girl Miss BJ, and I'm tuned in to Voice It Radio.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Teasy from the Clear, motion picture gang of Don't Bang, and you are listening to Voice It Radio.
It's Artazar, and you are now tuned in to Voice It Radio.
What up with it? This your boy Q Nice, man.
What's poppin'? It's your girl Jessie Jets, and I'm here, and I'm always tuned in to Voice It Radio.
Yo, this is Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps Today. You're listening to Voice It Radio right here. Check it out.
What's going on? This is your brother Bashir Jones, and you are tuned in to voiceitradio.com.
Join yours truly, Harvey Zay, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern. We will talk jazz, have interviews with special guests, and spin some of the greatest jazz tunes from past and present. It's Harvey Zay's Jazz Room from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, right here on voiceitradio.com.
Can you dance? Let's find out. I want to see everybody on the dance floor right now. I'm about to put y'all to the test. Let's go. Do you know the dances?
Coming back
Do you know the hip-hop
with
dances?
that new KRS-One. Can You Dance?
Score for sure, taking no chances.
One of my
Bringing back the
personal
marquee
favorite
dances, here's the
albums.
answers. What do you
I
remember
am
when
a
you knew
MC.
this endeavor?
RU12. With that being said, coming back with my brother from Legal Works, dealing with brother Isaiah Pinckney. One of the things that you said, and you said it a couple of times with pride, break down that servicing people.
Oh, yeah. One of the things Legal Works is just, I think we recognize people, right? The restoring barriers and opportunities, we just want to service the community and the people. And I think, as I was mentioning, sometimes with law, we get caught up in the legal, right? Well, we can't do it because it's legal. And there's a person behind it. And I think what we do with Legal Works is we remember there's a person behind it. Even when we write our motions, we're asking you, where do you work? Do you have any children? What do you do in the community? Are you involved this way? So it's just, we're servicing people, and it's good. I like that. I like that aspect. Yeah.
I can tell that. And you are speaking about the theory of learning from law school, things tied to people. And you even were talking off air a little bit about that theory of, even they have it in medicine, but everything's a theory. Talk to me about the theory of learning that you've gone through in law school that has helped you be able to do what it is that you do now.
Yeah. So obviously law school is a 3-year mental challenge.
Right.
And you kind of do a lot of hypothetical situations where the facts are extreme, depending on the law you're doing. Obviously, one of the extreme ones would be criminal law. We learn criminal law, and that's kind of one of the first classes you have in law school. That you learn how to, read a statute, interpret it with the facts, and see how you can either help or what hurts your client. And that's how you kind of, similarly, when you're in practice, you're going to read a statute and see, okay, here's the facts of this client. Does this apply to them? Okay, what can we say where this will apply, what will hurt the client, what will help the client? So kind of just how you apply it out in the real world.
I hear you. I can appreciate a lot of what you've talked about. Tell me about the fact helping people live their dreams. To me, that is one of the major things that I have to push when seeing some of the work you all have done. And again, you just coming into this, but still the over 1,000 in an 8-year period. I'm going to say less than a full 8-year period, but just the fact of those numbers alone, and that doesn't talk about the other actions you've helped with people. Talk to us about helping people live their dreams.
Yeah. So one is maybe trying to get your license to be a nurse. So that's the best example. Trying to get your license as a nurse, certain convictions will just hinder you.
Right.
So you had a dream to be a nurse. You know this is coming up. You did nursing school. You did everything you're supposed to do. But now you realize, I got to take this exam and I have to get licensed by the state. And I have this fraud conviction that I'm not sure about. I always use fraud because I feel like that's
I got you.
That's the one that stops employers in their tracks. So now you find out about this law that you didn't know about because you heard about Legal Works and maybe just stopped on because you didn't know. And now you can seal that record and now you don't have to mention it. Now, again, it's back to the mental.
Right.
It's that mental. Now you feel free to pursue what you want to pursue without feeling like, oh man, what's the point? Yeah.
I hear you all that. You chose, that's a nice school too, Case. A lot of excellent people I've met who've gone through that program. But I'm going to ask you, maybe a few years before that, is this something you always wanted to go to or get into? And if not, What caused you to make that decision to go into law?
So no.
I got you.
To go into law or to go into what I'm doing now?
We can go into both of them.
Okay, so law. I worked in New York City. I was working at a private practice.
Okay.
Had like 10,000 active patients, and I was like doing their billing. Also just help out the manager, assistant manager, I guess. So I was doing that for a while. Wanted to do something more. So people like my grandmother's age, in their 70s. Well, my grandmother's not 90 at the time. But they would come in, and I remember two things that happened. The first was someone had a Con Edison bill, and they had a balance. They took the money out of the Con Edison bill, which Con Edison is like the First Energy here.
Okay.
They're taking the money out the lecture bill to pay me for their bill at the practice. I found that to be ridiculous. Someone's choosing between healthcare and the lights going on.
Right.
So that was part of it, and also the process of getting referrals. This one lady who went through this whole process, she's supposed to get, I think it's mastectomy, if I pronounce it.
Yes, you got it.
Okay.
You got it.
It was a whole process where they denied her. She couldn't get it, and she was already approved, and she was fearful. So I realized there was something with the law that needs to change, and that's what got me into the law. So originally I was going to do health law. What got me into more criminal and nonprofit, well, nonprofit really me and James, but like I told you, I interned at the prosecutor's office. So
Yes,
then I
sir.
started seeing what the city was going through. Then just attending events at school, seeing certain of my professors. One of them is Professor Hardaway, Aisha Hardaway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's there. I never had the pleasure of taking her class, but she was definitely very involved in the school and very involved in mentoring a lot of my classmates. And she was very involved in the community. Then again, I told you, in the Inspector General's office, I worked for not Professor Howard Turner, was another one of the professors.
Okay.
She was very active in community and very active in case. And that's kind of where I started seeing examples of people being really involved. And then I started learning about what was really going on in Cleveland and really seeing, you guys are, there's some real things that need to change here.
I hear you.
One of them, it was, just seeing East Cleveland and how that city was run versus how University Circle is run was just like a night and day thing. So that's kind of where I started, like, just kind of learning what was going on. Then, like I said, I met James, and he was telling how he started the company. First was just clearing warrants. So a lot of people just don't know about warrants. And if I may continue.
Go ahead. You're doing well.
What I didn't know about here is that you get warrants for traffic tickets. So in New York City, you don't. They just want money. They don't. So they'll suspend your license if you don't pay a traffic ticket, and then you don't know, pull you over, and then you got to spend a license. And then they'll take you off. But here, you don't pay. There's a warrant out for you, which I didn't know about. And that's kind of what James, my boss, was discussing. He had these private clients in his private firm, and they weren't coming to the court cases. To find out because it's a warrant that they had that they were scared to come to court because they didn't want to get arrested for the warrant.
Yes, sir.
And it was something simple. He was saying, this is something simple I can do to help people. So that's how legal work started. And that's kind of, we still do that. We still clear warrants.
Nice.
Because that's also part of the record sealing. We want to clear the warrants so that way we can seal your record.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I could appreciate you. As a matter of fact, before I ask any other questions, please, if you can let me know how people can contact you.
Sure. So first is the website, legalworksneo.org. There's also our Instagram page, which is legalworks. I think it's NEO. I'm sorry. I'm an old young person, so I'm not really with Instagram. And we also are on Facebook as well. Search LegalWorks, you should be able to find us. You can also call the office if you mind. I'll say the number too. 216-791-6476. There's someone there almost every day. And, if you don't get somebody, leave a message, we'll definitely get back to you. But the website is probably the best way because you'll leave it's called, I believe it's like Get Help tab, and then you fill out your information and then leave a message for us, and then we'll get back to you. I believe it says 72 hours, probably quicker than that though.
Right. And I noticed all of that. It's so professionally done. I appreciate that. What are some of the legal trenches that you feel you've seen around here that you've had to deal with?
Legal trenches in terms of what I see people clients dealing with.
Yes, yes.
I would think I see it more being labeled for something they did 20 years ago. I think that's the
right.
So one of the things that we dealt with recently and still dealing with, convictions that were used to be F3s, felony third degree, are now felonies of the fourth degree. And you mentioned as you came in, retroactively changing something.
Yes.
Now we're trying to get to the argument where that should now count as a felony for this person is eligible.
Okay.
But they're not now because the court is saying, well, it was a felony 3 at the time, so it's a felony 3 now. We count it at the time of the offense. So that's kind of one of the hurdles I'm seeing more and more now, is because it changes. It changes, especially with how drug laws change, and especially back in the 90s, before internet, before you knew anything. Things change. Yeah.
I hear you and can appreciate that. As a matter of fact, my thing is, I'm glad they call him private, because you would get an infamous shout out on the air blasting you for calling my phone line while I'm live on the air doing a radio show, a Voice It Radio. But should you get smart and decide I want to at least let you know who's calling, I'll be glad to give you that infamous shout out, because y'all should know better. You all just should. While I'm having some fun here, once again, I would like to ask you at least the location where you're in. How do you feel that has helped you be able to do some of the great work that you're doing?
Well, because we're in several locations. We actually have a partnership with the Cleveland Public Library. So we're in 3 locations: Glenville branch on Mondays, Fulton on Tuesdays, and Mount Pleasant on Wednesdays.
Nice.
We're also at Famicos Foundation, Thursdays and Saturdays. Mondays we're at the Women's Recovery Center.
Okay.
And Tuesdays we're at University Settlement. I'm sorry I mentioned you last, University Settlement. I was just there.
Gotcha. But I hear you.
And that's in Slavic Village, Broadway. So we actually, being in the community, is just, some people don't know we're there.
Right.
Yesterday at Glenville, client came in, I believe, Saturday, who worked in the area, and I was like, hey, we're in Glenville, and he referred somebody to us, and this. So that's kind of how some of it works, that they don't know we're in the community, and they could just kind of walk by instead of having to drive or anything. Like, oh, I live 5 blocks down, I could just walk in.
And I will be referring people to you also. Hey, I get a chance to do this. I want to thank my little sister, Angela Y. Davis, for calling my personal phone line while I'm live on air on a Tuesday, every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. Cleveland Standard Time for over 9 years. With that being said, I thank you, Angela Y. Davis. You have earned this infamous shout out. Could have called to say something, but that's all right. I appreciate the fact that if nobody has called the 216-772-0500 number, which is the phone line here, that means people are appreciative, entertained, everything spoke through thoroughly. So my thing is, I've appreciated, talking to you. Do you feel, since the location and all of that, how has it been for you to at least, I'll say, grow? Because you look like you are enjoying what it is that you do. There's a lot of contentment. There was a lot of excitement off air coming from you about what it is that you do. So talk to us about you personally, please.
Oh man, putting on the spot personally.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In terms of work, I mean, what I just like doing, I like seeing people smile. I like seeing people being positive. I think the mental health thing, should be spoke about more.
Right.
That impact is what I hear the joy in clients who say, "Hey, I'm just happy you even listen to me."
Mm-hmm.
I find that to be something easy to listen to somebody, but I don't realize how people struggle just to get that. And it's just, that's just us every day. We'll sit down, we'll listen, we'll see if we can help you. I'm not going to cut you off.
Right.
I'm going to just let you talk. And I enjoy it. My classmates know. They always found me on the bridge. Case has a bridge.
Okay.
And I just sat.
Yes.
And I
should
probably have been in class a little quicker. Running late to class. But no, I've always enjoyed learning about a person, hearing their stories, talking with them, seeing how I can help. That's just, personally, I get that fulfillment from this. It's every day.
I feel you. And with those things, what are some of the differences from New York to Cleveland? This ought to be an interesting conversation, but give me your viewpoints, please. You've been here for a little while.
I have. So, can I highlight? Do I have to highlight differences, or can I say what I like about Cleveland?
Go ahead. Talk about what is it that you like about,
what
places.
I like about this city is you have a great nature city balance I've never seen. Your metro parks are phenomenal.
Okay.
So part of why I wanted to leave New York, I wanted to I lived there for 30 years and I wanted something new. That was when I applied to law schools. I was trying to branch out of New York. What I found in Cleveland was, like I said, the nature balance. I have a family here. I have 2 kids. So
okay, solid.
But when I moved here, I did not. I used the tag Brooklyn Forge, Cleveland Refined. I really became a man here.
Gotcha.
And I appreciate the city for it. I found a lot of support from my girlfriend's family. They've given me a lot of support. Love them. They've been excellent to me. But back to the city question.
That's solid though.
I just wanted to shout that out. But New York food, we have cheaper eats. And when I say cheaper eats, I used to be this called halal spot that I used to live nearby.
Okay.
For $6.50, I couldn't finish the plate.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find that here. Can't find $6.50. However, you guys have a lot of good food. I love food. So
I hear you.
I will travel east, west, north, south. It doesn't matter. I will go to wherever there's good food and a different variety. We're trying to try new things. Just tried a Korean barbecue place with the family about a week and a half ago. It's delicious. So
nice. I could say I appreciate that. This gives me a time to look at everything and say, Alicia Kirkman, you get an infamous shout out for calling me on my personal phone line while I'm live doing the radio show on voiceatradio.com. Like I say, I have a lot of fun when I do certain things. I just do. You have to enjoy everything. What type of music do you like, sir?
Well, depends on the day. But
Okay.
I like a little almost everything. Probably don't like country too much. But rap, hip hop, reggae, classical music. I used to play piano, so I got into classical music.
Okay.
Let's see, some rock and roll, some alternative. Man, I don't know. If it sounds good, I'll listen to it. Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you on that. Once again, if you can, at least let us know how people can contact you. Legal Works. What's the easiest way? Please.
The website would be the easiest way. LegalWorksNeo.org. Should I say?
Yeah, go ahead.
LegalWorks, LegalWorksNeo.org. And we'll say get help. You fill out your name, leave us a message, obviously your contact, and we'll get back. Again, it says 72 hours, but we'll probably get back to you sooner than that.
It has been a pleasure to at least have you on this program.
Pleasure being here.
No problem.
Pleasure meeting you too.
Likewise. What was it like doing some of the you're a natural at this. So what was it like doing some of the promotional spots? Because you all, it looked like it was just another day on the job. You giving testimony about what it is that you do, listening, and seeing all of those faces on there. And it was interesting because I looked at it and said, I recognize a couple of these people.
Really?
I did. And when I recognized them, I had to sit back and I could smile because these were people who were doing some major things in the community that had certain things not been involved. They might not have been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask, what was it like for you during that whole promotional process?
Well, like I'm here, nervous.
I hear you.
But no, some of the testimonials I didn't get to see, but so when I came in, I didn't know someone that works at Famicos. I didn't even know she was one of the clients until I saw that. So she was doing testimony. I was like, "Oh wow, you're one of the clients," and I didn't even realize it. So that was actually kind of cool. That where we work, we're also helping people where we work, physically and within the community. So it was actually pretty cool. And in terms of doing it, I mean, the person who edited probably made me look better, but no, I just like here, I just like asking questions and having conversations, and that's kind of who I am in terms of that. So for me, I guess the process was just nerve-wracking, yes, but it was good to see. It was really good to see people just talk about how better it made them feel. I think that was also, again, I always harp on mental health, and maybe because what happened in school, because they talk about that a lot in terms of like fatigue. But I think we don't talk about mental health enough in this society. Even as minorities, I think we have a thing of we're just gonna get through it, because this is how we're built, right?
Yes,
how
sir.
we're taught. We'll just get through it. But no, sometimes we need a little pick me up to help us out. Like we're going through something, we need to talk to somebody.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Man, it has been phenomenal to talk to you, to meet you officially, hear your viewpoints. And again, Legal Works, please check them out. You will not be disappointed. This is the Black on Black Crime Incorporated Hip Hop Workshop Radio Show on voiceitradio.com. Once again, my name is Al Porter. You can catch the Black on Black Crime Incorporated meetings on Wednesdays. That's every Wednesday at none other than 7:15 p.m. That's 7:15 p.m. at 15415 Kipling Avenue. That's 15415 Kipling Avenue. And that's with the 44110 area code. That is right off of Ivanhoe. And I want to also let people know that our next hip hop workshop will be at Cleveland State University. That will be April the 2nd from 2 to 6 p.m., where you can bring your whole family in for free at Cleveland State University. And that is 1899 main classroom building. You can enter from East 22nd and Chester or East 22nd and Euclid for the large room number 136 as we take our leave. And we appreciate you for being here with us once again. And hey, we know the Daughters of the Nile comes through. It's a beautiful Tuesday evening. I thank Brother EP for being the super sound engineer of this program this evening. voiceitradio.com, where if you didn't hear it here, most likely, most definitely, it didn't happen at all. And so we're taking our leave. Appreciate everything. We started that trend of on-air radio in a digital age. And we're back once again, stuck in my ways. Mr. Solo, peace.
Stuck in my ways. I remember I will be fucked up for days. Stuck in my ways. If I don't hustle, can I get paid? Stuck in my ways. If I don't hustle, I cannot get paid. Tell them the game and they hear me, but they don't be wanting to be part of the money. I don't know how to get down with these niggas, or they keep on acting so funny. I stick to the script and I'm moving so different, they mind confused. How I come up with these pounds I move? How I creep up behind them fools? They say it must be them kind of shoes. Trying to find out where I'm buying my shoes. I'm popping the trunk with all kinds of tools. I done been making time to move. I'm on a mission for mama to live. Up in the house on the bottom of the hill. You ain't gotta pay me, I gotta be real. This is entertainment, I'm shooting for the deal. How you gonna hate if I'm dropping a hit? Stealing the good and I'm still on lit. I ain't conceited, I know I'm in shit. I stepped up the game for a live out the bricks. I'm minding my manners, don't wanna get banished. I'm smoking the bag to the cellophane. Ain't gonna banish my weapons, I keep it on the shelf till a nigga wanna try some things. Ain't no worse than the Western movies. The Billy Kid and Black Jesse James. How I'm so violent when you went to war. I went to war on a different plane. Took the bitter with the bitter, man. Ain't nothing sweet. Been in the dumps, I've been in the bin. 10 toes down in the middle of the street. 0 losses, then they all win. Stuck in my ways. I will be fucked up for days. Yeah. Stuck in my ways.